My name's Scott Johnston, and today I'm here with one of my best friends, Mike Jacques from Thunder Bay, and we're going to be interviewing him today and talking about journaling and a little bit about overcoming and kind of getting a little personal with Mike's path and talking about his story a little bit. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass this over to Mike and get him to properly introduce himself. So who are you and where are you from, Mike?
So yeah, my name is Mike Jacques and I'm from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. I am 34 years old and yeah, I've honestly just started to follow my heart and it's taken me in this wonderful direction.
So when you say follow your heart, I mean, what does that exactly mean? And what I'm kind of referring to is maybe some of the things behind you and on your wall hanging there, and that is kind of about you as well. So
Yeah, definitely. What I mean by following my heart is the artwork that you do see up in the background here really inspires and motivates me. And it literally like tickles my heart. It gives me this feeling of like electricity that tickles. It's like a fizzle tickle. And it's physically happening and literally it's partly mentally happening as well. But it's really interesting and I've just followed and tried to harness that feeling more and more in my life in the past 4 years of becoming aware of it through the artwork and through a lot of self work, definitely.
can you explain a little bit, maybe about how we met and how our relationship is kind of blossomed from there?
Totally. So I met Scott Johnson, I believe it was at the beginning of this summer of 2020. And I met him through an unbelievable friend as well. Um, yeah, Scott Kyle, man, you're an amazing soul and just a mentor in general, man. And you've really helped guide me. And so I met Scott Johnson through a Scott Kyle, and so I met Scott Johnson at the Arrow River Hermitage in Thunder Bay, Ontario. First time I met Scott Johnson, he was sitting on a meditation mat, and I felt some energy that I've honestly never felt in my life before. I did a meditation in a hermitage that I've never been to in my life before. And I had my eyes closed, and this experience was very spiritual and very awareing. I had practiced a little bit of meditation up until this point of my first time actually going to a meditation retreat. And when, yeah, this meditation retreat was very, very serious and heart opening for me and mind expanding, I believe. Um, Looking at Scott across the room from me, it's very hard to even put into words the energy that I felt because it was like there was a light across the room shining at me. And I had never even been able to expose this to Scott directly because it just hasn't came up this naturally. And in that meditation for a half an hour, I started breathing automatically. I could feel it through the practice of my breath. And I felt I could feel just this overwhelm of joy and I just started tearing. My eyes were closed, but I could feel the tears running down my cheeks. And um, I knew it was some kind of instant connection, but I wasn't sure exactly where it was going to go from there. So we left the meditation. I gave Scott a big hug. It was like, holy crap, this is, wow, I've never met this person in my life, but I feel so connected. Um, it was truly powerful and just amazing. And from there, We had worked together for a couple months after that on just trying to develop different things together, and it was a little bit different because Scott was spending his literally every moment out at this Arrow River meditation, and then here's me living this completely different life as a cook. And as leading up to the end of the story a little bit, I was cooking for 3 years, and upon meeting Scott, magical man, and just literally expressing what we truly love, what we like to do, and it really opened up my mind. It really opened up my heart to feel things in a different way. And seeing Scott out at the Hermitage, it honestly like gave me some kind of awareness just through our friendship and through our relationship that I will hold close to my heart for the rest of this experience. It has helped me overcome things that truly you cannot put the stuff into words. It's just like stepping into that unknown. And honestly, everybody who views this, I really hope you take this and really be inspired and motivated, because Scott Johnson made me realize through awareness and through just being a true authentic friend that anything is fucking possible. And you just have to commit and literally focus and do it, and have support for each other. This is the biggest part that Scott Johnson has taught me from our relationship from the beginning, was you have to be there for each other no matter what. And the support system, it strings out like a spider's web, and this spider's web is seriously connected with everybody. And when you start to actually crawl out on this web, you'll be amazed at the connections and opportunities that just start to roll your way. It is truly, it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. I'm so grateful for this relationship that I have with Scott. And honestly, this is just the beginning of this flourishing relationship.
Thank you, Mike. I think you know that I don't think I can top that, and I'm not going to try to. But the relationship is 150% reciprocal. Yeah, so Michael is this guy whose heart is literally like you can see it. I'm literally looking at his heart right now. It's on his sleeve, and he's just this like love bug who shows nothing but love and compassion for everyone and everything. And so the place where we met is Arrow River Forest Hermitage, which is a Buddhist monastery about an hour south of Thunder Bay, where Buddhist monks live. It's completely off the grid. It's completely isolated. There's no running water. There's no power other than a few solar lights that we have. And it's a place to go and meditate and to reflect and to search inwardly. And so I just wanted to give a little background on that. Also, when I first, so after we met, there was a time that I went to Mike's house, and which he's in right now. And you walk into this little house, and it's just like it's so cute and just so like welcoming. And so I'm living in the forest, isolated in the woods, okay. And so I'm like really withdrawn. See, there it is there. I'm really withdrawn from society and from like look at this. Look at this place. I'm really withdrawn from society and from kind of sort of the mundane householder life. And I'd been at Arrow River, I don't know how long, it was a few months. It was definitely months before I met Mike. But coming into town and seeing his house was like, oh, you know, I kind of wanted to, I was kind of jealous actually. I kind of wanted to like come back into the world. And, you know, if I can have a place like this, it's just, you walk into his house and you literally feel different. It's a shift that happens. And I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this in other people's houses, but there's a certain energy in this house, and you feel it when you walk in, and it's all because he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's just this compassionate being. And he's got such a cute little family too. His dog Oakley, we just seen there. his girlfriend Kelly and his daughter Ellie. They're both amazing people. Um, one more thing. Can we talk a little bit about that first interaction with you? Not the first interaction, but when I came to your house and talked with you and Landon about kind of what we're going to do and maybe kind of how it's like coming to fruition now a bit and yeah.
So yeah, me and my friend Landon McFarlane, also a huge piece of this crazy cool puzzle. Um, it's the easiest way I can explain it. He and I were developing just a thing, a platform through Instagram, through Facebook, Motivate Your Life, and we were doing it through. He loves to work out, so he loves like the physical side of being healthy, and he really wants to motivate and inspire with that, and it's like we carry this energy together. So me and Landon had these really cool plans, and as those plans were kind of fizzling and percolating up, um, we had met Scott Johnson and Scott Kyle. So here's two more pieces to this like crazy ass cool puzzle, and it's like our puzzle pieces fit together honestly like perfectly. So the motivation and the energy, it was so heartfelt through all of us, I believe, that we started to create wisdom circles, and we started to just get together and honestly authentically be ourselves and talk about what's going on in our lives, and literally pour our hearts out, our souls, and just talk about stuff that really meant stuff to us. And this developed over a couple months, and the next thing you know, Jacques has monks literally sitting on his couch in his art house. And yeah, these guys are in awe. And they're in awe as literally I'm in shock, first of all. Like I'm dead serious saying that there was a robed monk sitting on my couch petting my dog Oakley. And the conversations I had with these people was so beautiful. And it's just, it's a connection that I will hold for the rest of my life. And these are memories, and it was almost like a flash of deja vu at the same time, because it was such a good connection. And yeah, me to think I would have monks, and people just that are being themselves, sitting on my couch and telling me how cool my artwork is. And it brought me more awareness that these people could sit around in my area, my environment of living, and just see like and say, wow, like this is what you do, man. And it's like, yeah, this is what I do, and I love it. I seriously love it, man. And it's huge support, and it's vibes for sure, good vibes all around.
So Mike, when's your birthday?
My birthday is on July 13th, 1986.
So on July 13th is actually the day I arrived at Air River, just to show more kind of connections in the web. Scott Kyle, the guy who brought us together, his wife's maiden last name is Johnston, which is my last name. So you take Scott's name, Scott is my first name, and his wife's maiden last name is my last name, Johnston. Sorry, I just remembered those things and I wanted to kind of make them known.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is great, Michael. This is going well. I'm happy about this. So I want to ask you, what was the greatest challenge you've had to overcome in your life, and how did you overcome it?
Right, good question. And I've really been living this presently every day. Biggest challenge honestly was building relationships with others. And I had to realize that first through building a very solid foundation relationship with myself. Um, and this goes with saying with family members, this goes with saying anybody that I've met out in the public throughout my whole life so far. In the last 4 years of becoming sober of alcohol and drugs, that has really opened my awareness to how I was treating first of all, I want to be very clear, myself. And then second of all, how I was treating others. And it was through this gained clarity of self-awareness and consciousness that I was seriously able to shift my own awareness to be able to realize what I was doing more, and really take accountability for my actions. That was number one. Taking this accountability as a father, and as a friend to whoever I engage and connect with in this universe. Um, and from that, I was seriously able to reconfigure my whole life and the experience that I was living in such a positive way that I don't even feel like the same person anymore. And like, I'm so grateful and I have so much gratitude for it. It has literally, yeah, overcoming that struggle has made me realize, like, the whole saying, with no pain, there's no gain. And, you know, it's true. Like, it's truth, bottom line truth. You have to go through that struggle to literally, like, get that strength, man. It's tough, and we're all going through it in so many different ways, especially right now with everything else that's going on. That's a whole nother topic. but but this is self-awareness. This is us, really connecting, I truly think, with our spirituality, and with who we really are, because that's what it's coming down to, for myself and for the people that I'm engaging and connecting with as artists and as creative beings. We have to tap into who we are truly, to become and help others understand who they want to truly be. And like, the only way I've learned to do this so far is through, yeah, doing my artwork and just being positive, and showing that I have patience, and just trying to spread this good vibe around the best that I can.
So, for me personally, if you say the greatest challenges, you having to being able to like build relationships and things like this, I'm thinking like, what? Because like it's been very easy with us. So I mean, you apparently you've had difficulty building relationships in the past. I'm assuming maybe because of the drinking and drugs that you were doing. Um, I, that's news to me, man. Because like you have no
Yeah.
problem building relationships. So to answer the second half of that question, specifically, how did you, Mike, overcome your inability to build healthy relationships with, number one, yourself and your family and your friends?
Very good question. So, um, I honestly, I started reading books, and these books led me down the path to self-awareness a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot. um, and so through this self-awareness, honestly, I started practicing meditation. And then just randomly, I find myself at a hermitage just outside of my town, and I'm meditating. And through this meditation, I had a spiritual connection with myself, with all of the other people in that room that day at the hermitage. And this spiritual connection, this energy that I felt, has kept me connected and kept me, um, just on this hunger for more just knowledge and information and wisdom about this life experience. Because I find uh, with this hunger and information, this wisdom that I keep gaining, I'm really able to share it as a good vibration. And I think a lot of friends, and I think family, really see this light inside me trying to come out now. Whereas, before, with the addiction and yeah, the alcohol, and it makes it really tough to come out. And the journaling, that is one of the biggest things that I can touch on, has changed my life from the beginning, along with the meditation practice, and um, the self-awareness, self-care, mental awareness, is the journaling. And the journaling has truly helped me to enhance my vocabulary. First of all, I've learned how to spell words better. I've learned how to just honestly write and read consistently better over the last 4 years, because it's become a practice of mine for sure. And I highly recommend it to absolutely anybody who is really trying to change their life and redirect their energy, really change their whole, you know, environment slash experience. You've got to really, really be self-aware with all this stuff to really feel it with your heart. That goes back to like the beginning of this conversation, that connection that we all feel in our heart, 100%.
So to basically summarize, what I'm getting is that there's pain and struggle, and through that pain and struggle, it gets so bad that you start seeking inwardly through meditation, and then you start journaling. So this is all about self-reflection, self-awareness, and
Yes,
it takes that. Sometimes it does take that deep dark pit that you have to go into to even want to seek something else, to be like, okay, something's not working here, something isn't right, and I need to start doing something differently because I don't like my life, and quite frankly, I'm probably going to die if I keep going this way. um,
yes.
so okay, so that's good. Thank you for answering that question, Mike. That's great, and thank you for being open and honest with me and with everyone who's watching this. um,
100%.
yeah. So the next thing I want to ask is, what is it that made you leave? Because you said you were a cook. What is it that made you leave the comfort and safety of a job to now stepping into this like unknown territory, which is following your heart and following your passions? And what kind of prompted you to do that? Can you kind of maybe tell us about that process a bit?
Totally. So I'm almost in tears right now because I feel this energy of like, honestly, like a joy, and like my body is literally tingling because Scott Johnson, the man across this screen from me, I wish he could sit here in person so that this conversation could, you know, it be in person, but it basically is. But the moral of the story is Scott Johnson, just through being my friend and connecting with me and telling me that anything was possible, it it seriously has made anything possible. And anyone who is watching this and knows me, Mike Jacques, who I am, um, they've seen what I've done, and that's a clear message, I think, in itself to anybody. um, you can change you can change anything you want. Like this is above and beyond like what people are telling people now. And this is experience, guys. And the experience is led by example, and the example is literally the truth. The truth being, all I'm doing is following my heart, because I'm really having to step back and have the patience to listen to it, because I went through so much pain. And it's truly remarkable, and it's truly amazing that another human being Scott Johnson, um, gave me the confidence, first of all, and the courage to be able to actually step, literally with a family, a house, bills to pay. Um, I've got debt. I've got the same shit going as everybody else in this world. Um, but this man, this human being, gave me enough courage to literally leave a job that I was at for 3 years, making 1,200 bucks every 2 weeks, say, at like 20 bucks an hour or whatever it was. And I fucking loved my job as a cook. Don't get me wrong. I loved what I did. I created such good relationships with the people that I worked with every single day for those 3 years. And their memories, man, that place and that job was just a stepping stone into this future of infinite unknown opportunities and relationships. That's what this life, I'm starting to realize, is about, is creating relationships, and it becomes infinite. Your opportunities through these relationships actually are endless. And this is all felt through the heart, like literally through the beat of my heart. And to listen to this beat of my heart, I've had to seek inward self-awareness, which is through meditation, sitting with your eyes closed for 10 minutes every single day, going and watching the sunrise and feeling connected with our environment's energy. It is truly amazing. It will change your life. I'm not exaggerating when I say that whatsoever, like at all. It will change your fucking life.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I don't think I need to say anything. I love you, man. I love you so much, dude. Like truly. Um,
And
yeah.
to add just to the end of, like, just to the touch on the end of this story, a little bit, when Scott Johnson was leaving Thunder Bay at the end of um, his own experience here in Thunder Bay, I have never had a friend in the 34 years of my living experience so far in my life, um, where when I dropped him off at the airport, this overwhelming feeling that literally took over my body. Um, I only knew Scott for maybe like what, like 3 months?
I was just gonna say 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, around 3 months. I'd only known him, and like literally we hung out maybe like six, maybe times. But in this time that we hung out, the experiences and the connections that I felt, like deeply, deeply in my heart, in my being, in my soul, um, these were enough to leave me seriously struck with shock. When I pulled Scott's backpack out of my van at the airport and had to say goodbye, it was honestly like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. My body felt like it was like almost shuttering down. Like,
So anyway, you're dropping me off the airport. A little bit of technical
yeah.
difficulties.
So I'm dropping Scott off at the airport, and like I say, I'm going through this experience that I've never experienced in my life before. It was like an adolescence, like I say, cry, shudder. Um, so I watched Scott leave, and it was just like I looked over at my girlfriend, and I said, like, I was in tears, I was bawling, and I'm like, like, is that how goodbyes, like, is that how goodbyes are? You just say bye, and then it's like, I said to her, like, am I ever gonna see this guy again? Like, actually, like, um, I'm in tears. I barely even know this guy. I'm crying as if like I literally just lost like my pet dog. Honestly, it was crazy, and so I absorbed that for a few days after Scott left, and um, we connected, and we stayed connected still to this day presently.
Oh
uh,
man. What is it? Is it your Wi-Fi? What's going on here?
I think it probably is, man. I just went and unplugged it and plugged it back in. But like, yeah, that's what I said to Kelly. I'm uh, like this is kind of messed because like this is what's actually fucked up too, I think. This is just on a side note, but um, we're all connecting through this type of technology platform right now. And say like years from now, this develops, and then all of a sudden it's like, you don't have internet. Sorry, boom. And it's like that platform crashes, and it's like, how are people supposed to connect? And it's like,
Yeah, because
I truly,
we've been stolen our human connection, and then
yeah.
it's like, whoa.
Through technology, and that's part of this big, this big experience in this story that I'm sharing with everybody today as well, is um it's the human connection that me and Scott have together, and I have with other human beings, that um that it keeps this electricity in your heart going. um it truly enhances the experience that you live on a present, omnipresent basis. Honestly, it's right in your face. Um, but you have to have enough patience and self-awareness to go through the struggles, go through the pain, and have enough courage to let it sink into your brain, and then and then literally like step up your game though. Nobody's gonna do this shit for you, and that's one of the biggest things that I've taken from the practice of now, like watching monks, which I never thought I would ever do in my life, and taking wisdom from what these people do, just sitting there. And everybody perceives what they do so differently, and they have judgment, I think, against what monks do. And it's like, if you actually truly understood, and you felt what these people felt when you're just sitting there in peace and quiet, I think you would totally change your whole opinion on it, and maybe you would start doing it yourself like I did, because there's no room for judgment in this experience, as far as I have learned. um, it's part of the experience, but you kind of have to almost uh, expel it out of your um,
Hey, you muted yourself, Mike.
uh, your experience altogether, because if you don't, it literally erodes at the foundation which you build your life on.
Yeah,
And
so sorry, we were talking about this yesterday, and Mick saying, yeah, sometimes I still have judgments come up, and I was basically telling him like that, yeah, I do too, and it's just like it's just what the mind's doing, as far as I can tell. Like we are conditioned to judge, and it's just like our emotions or our thoughts. It's just what the mind is doing, and I don't think, and I'm not enlightened. I've had experiences, but I am by no means going to be enlightened. But as far as I can tell, when you become enlightened, you don't get rid of your emotions, you don't get rid of your thoughts. You still get angry, you still get happy, you still get sad. And I think you still probably judge and have judgments come up. But I think the key here is to not be attached or averse to either of it, right? Like the Buddha talks about like the middle path. And so it's like basically the way I describe it is it's like imagine being like a boulder in a stream of rapids, and this water flowing over, i.e. the thoughts, the feelings, the external world, everything. But that boulder, it's not going, it's not moving, it's just observing everything going by without being attached to it or averse to it. So it's just observing. So it's like, I think the suffering comes from being attached to our thought, being attached to our feeling, being attached to the judgments. It's like, like a judgment comes up, and now you are feeling bad, like, oh, I'm judging that person. Well, yeah, it's because you're identifying with that judgment. You think that judgment is you and it's mine, but it's not. Um,
yeah, and that's a really good point. And so it's like, yeah, through the practice of detachment, um, from those judgments and from those attachments, yeah, it basically has taught me, in a way, to, yeah, fire and wire new synapses in my brain. And like I've explained in some of my videos and stuff before, it's like I can literally um, feel these explosions happening, like physically, and whether it be through the sensation of my body, the feelings in my face, when I'm doing something I truly love or connecting with a person that I truly love. This is a chemical reaction that is happening in the body. And if you are consciously self-observing, and you are self-aware enough to feel it, it's not something you see with the eyes. I'm telling you, it's almost invisible. Um, this is stuff that you feel with your soul, your heart. And the mind is definitely, and the brain is all intertwined and part of this natural braid of life. Um, but it's awesome. And when you really start to look at the tools that you have around you, um, the technology, the friends, and you really just you optimize on them and use them to your best capability. That's what I've learned in my last couple of years of practice, and I'd love to share that with as many people as I can, because it's important, and it really gives you better health. And if you're living healthy, um, I was eating Kraft dinner last night, and my best, my best buddy Scotty even gave me shit about it a little bit. And you know what? I love that, and that is a good friend looking out for somebody, and it comes down to little things like that, and take it to heart if you want, but it's truly little things like that. You know, you have an apple, make sure your friends are eating, making sure they're healthy. That in turn comes back. I truly believe that, yeah, it's all a big cycle. And when you help complete these cycles, whether it be engaging in different relationships you've never engaged in before, um, engaging in helping clean up the environment, engaging in something you've never even done before because you thought you could never do it. When you truly engage in these unknown things, well, unknown events and opportunities magically, and I say magically, start to happen in your experience. And it's truly not magic when you understand it as the magician. It's like an illusion, and it's hard to explain. It's um, hard to completely expose the illusion sometimes because the trick is so hard. It's hard to understand. You have to practice it every day, consistently until you um, understand why you're doing it. And when you
So
keep asking that question, why, it exposes more.
so sorry to interrupt. Thank you, Mike. I'm glad you brought up the unknown and things. And I also before I go on with that, I also want to explain, like, for people watching, like, he's not just like spitting stupid weird spiritual mumbo jumbo at you. He's doing the best he can to explain this process, and I think he's doing a really good job. I'm living this process right now, and it's when he says magic, when he says you feel it, when he says you live through the heart, it's you, and I'm literally feeling it right now. As soon as I said that, my whole body was like, you, like, the best way I can explain it is when I say I feel it, my whole body goes and it gets this, it's a physical feeling. He gets it too, but there's other things, and it's, we're not just speaking weird stuff to you guys. It's, we're doing the best we can to try and explain this process, um, and talking about the unknown, and to kind of get back on track because we had technical difficulties there before. Um, Mike and myself are both living in the unknown right now. We are both in very uncharted waters. We are both in a weird process. The old self is dead. The new self is being born, and like we're recording this as this process is happening, as this shift is happening, and the purpose of this is just to help you guys, help whoever is watching. Maybe we can guide or help in some way, shape, or form, because all we want to do in this life is help others. That is it. We've both been through a lot, and yeah, we're in the unknown right now, and guys, it's scary. It's really scary. We don't know. It's the unknown. Of course, we don't know, but it's also beautiful, and you're literally just seeing magic in front of your eyes. Opportunities open up. I just went skydiving for the first time in 4 years, and I didn't even pay for it. Opportunity. Thank you, 777 Overcoming, by the way. Um, so yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's move along. So we want to talk a bit about journaling. Journaling has been huge in my life. It I'm going to let Mike take the stage for this one. But Michael, what does your process of journaling look like? Because everyone does it a bit differently. So I'd like you to kind of explain in detail, like what you do in your journal, what it looks like, and be like, as I said, be a bit more specific, and then maybe start with when and why you started journaling.
Cool. So yeah, when and why I started journaling, that's such an interesting story in itself. I got into a snowboarding accident, and by accident I mean it was random as hell. I just quit drinking alcohol, um, and I went to the hill completely sober, and I decided I was gonna just do this normal trick I do and ride up this tree, stall, and kind of come back down. And I've done this trick a million times. Well, this one night that I went and did it, I went up the tree and I came back down, and the nose of my board caught a rock, and it flipped me to the ground so hard it almost knocked me right out. And like I'm pretty tough, I like to think, and I got up. I thought my ankle was busted from like the snap, and I felt like a stomach gut pain, like instantly, like a real like I took a blow to the stomach that I've never taken before. And so I came home that night, and I had people telling me that I should go to the hospital. And long story short, I got home, I had a shower, and um, I was honestly going into shock at home. Um, so I was like, holy shit, we got to get to the hospital. And my girlfriend drove me to the hospital. I was almost passing out cold on the way because I was in so much pain. I got to the hospital to find out that I had a ruptured kidney and I had internal bleeding. And yeah, like this was a serious deal. And they rushed me in as quick as they could, and they were trying to get X-rays to see where like the blood was coming from out of the kidney. So they finally did the X-rays, they did the MRI, and then it came to this moment where it's like you gotta pee before we can like give you any um, morphine for the pain. They said that they had to get this liquid out of my body before I could receive any pain medication. And like, I mean, this was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life, besides popping my hip out of place drinking and driving years ago. That's a whole nother story. Um, but yeah, I pissed a jug um, that looked like literally Coca-Cola. It was the blood coming out in the urine because the kidney was bleeding so bad internally. So I exposed the blood, and I got the shot of morphine. And no joke, as weird as I can say it, it's like I woke up in the hospital bed, and I can't remember if I asked my girlfriend or if she just brought the journal. I can't remember exactly, but like from that moment in that hospital bed, it was like I had a little bit of an awakening just right there in itself, close to death, and just feeling that pain. It like truly made me um, feel some awareness that clearly I never had felt before. And so I started writing in that journal in the hospital. And there was nobody around to talk to for most of the days. And I was in there for, I think, a week or 7 days. So I had lots of time to sit by myself. And it was through the writing in the journal um, that I started to see exactly what I was feeling. And like see it, I mean, I physically wrote it down, and I could flip a page back and look and see what I was feeling. So through the understanding of this consciously, it kept proving to me that everything that I wrote down, whether it was the night before or even that day, everything that I wrote down was starting to actually come to life. Like, I mean, literally come to life in front of my eyes. And um, like my journal, honestly, it looks something like this. It's very simple. When I wake up in the morning, I write down, you know, 8 a.m. I woke up, how I felt when I woke up, and what I'm doing for the day. Sometimes when I'm really, really motivated, honestly, and this is this is quite frequently, um, I write
Nice.
down my I write down my intentions and my goals the night before, because I've been taught and I've been kind of just helped guided. If you write down this stuff the night before, it's literally like pre-programming your phone with an alarm. It's like pre-programming a computer, this main frame. Um, if you pre-program that intention, well, all of a sudden your limiting beliefs that you had about anything that you could possibly do in this world start to dissolve slowly. Um, it's like putting spaghetti in the drainer or strainer, drainer, in the strainer. You pour the water, you know, it comes out the bottom. And honestly, that's how it feels with like your thoughts and your experiences. And you start to really, really feel that good stuff that drips through the strainer, man. Like it's hard. I'm going off topic a little
So,
bit,
so
but
let's continue with that process. So you say the night before, you write down your intentions,
yeah.
and then in the morning it's like 8 a.m. Like you're literally basically documenting. Let's continue what you do in the journal specifically,
Okay.
and then yeah.
So yeah, I set my goals and intentions specifically. So like for example, today I had this morning I had a 6 a.m. meditation. I told Scott last night, I'm gonna wake up to do a 6 a.m. meditation. Wake up, do 10-minute meditation. It's that simple, guys. And then literally I went back to bed. I went back to bed for maybe another hour, and I slowly woke up, and I just, yeah, I set that intention, like I say. So you write it down, and then when you check mark this, it literally gives you like a cool jolt of energy in your heart. You're like, I did this. Um, I had a lady come pick up some artwork this morning. Same thing. Two saws for this lady. Check mark. I have another lady coming tonight to pick up 5 saws. Check mark when she comes and picks up these saws. I had an 11 a.m. Meeting with Scott here. I wrote that down as well. So then when you look back on this stuff every single day, every single night, you have concrete structure of what you're doing and what you're preparing. And the overall intention for all of this, I want to be very clear too, is for a result. The reason why I'm journaling is because I'm hungry and interested in evolving the results that I'm experiencing in my life every single day. And the only reason I think I'm wanting to evolve these results and my experiences, honestly, is because I feel this life has so much to offer. I feel through gaining clarity on what I'm doing in my own life, it literally gives me joy, like so much joy,
You
that
can see
yeah,
it.
I want to, I want to share that joy with everybody and show them that, you can feel this, you can do this. It's just a matter of, yeah, straight up doing it. And there's good days and bad days, like Scott was saying, the emotions and all this stuff are truly part of it. And it's it's like what I've learned in my own experience, and it's different for everybody. um, I've learned to balance, really, really, truly try and balance, like the yin and the yang, right? You really, there's good and there's bad with absolutely everything that you look at, with your eyes. There's good and there's bad. There's good and there's bad with everything you feel with your heart, right? And in the end, yeah, you know, you have to make the overall, um, end
Choice?
game,
Yeah.
yeah, end result. You're the one creating your own results, and um, it took a while for me to get that one, but you literally create your own results. So, if you want to be lazy, I used to be lazy, not want to do stuff, not want to connect with people that, oh, that person's weird. And why were they weird? Those weird people, to be honest, are the most intelligent people that I've ever met in my life now. So yeah, it goes to show, what judgment and what attachment will inhibit from you in your experience if you truly are conscious to it.
So, yeah, thank you, Michael. This is great. One thing that I want to point out too, he says when he's journaling, he's like he writes stuff down. And I think he said like it happens or something like that. What you write down, it comes to reality or something. Well, when you take a thought, okay, and it's just a thought, so a thought is just a thought. It doesn't really exist. It's only existing in here. But then when you take that thought from in here, you use your pen and you write it down. Now that thought has manifested into the physical reality already. And yes, this may seem like some weird spiritual jumbo, but it's really not. It's like I have a thought. Okay, my thought right now is I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm writing thinking. Now that thought is literally in this physical world. So I mean, if you don't believe and I don't want to talk about manifestation or anything, but I mean, it's like instant manifestation. And I can assure you that I used to write affirmations down every day, every morning. And I'm going to start doing this again, but I haven't been doing it for a while. My affirmations came true. What I wrote down, I am. And so it's like, I am happy, I'm healthy, I'm whatever it is. You write that down, you keep writing, I am, and whatever you want. It will come true. It literally has for me. So
The
yeah,
biggest one,
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, the biggest one for me, and it stuck out as you were saying, and I thought you were going to say it. It was on the tip of my tongue, but it was my affirmation that I practiced for quite a while. Excuse me. I wish I still, like I say, I'm going to continue as well. Was I am enough.
Ooh,
And
I
honestly,
like that.
yeah, like just straight up, it's very simple, and you have to put it in front of yourself. Even write it down, like like we've been saying. It's like write it down 2, 3 times a day. Just put it in front of your eyes. I like to do that. It's like laser vision. Put it in front of your eyes, and it starts to actually, you start to feel like you're enough. And I the stuff you see in the background here, the videos, all of the stuff that you see being output on Instagram and Facebook, this is all a product of writing it down as an idea in the journal, and it's bringing it to life, like literally bringing it before your eyes. Um, that is what it's about, and that's why the journaling is so important. It truly is.
And on that note, next question for you, Michael, is so how has journaling changed you? And in that answer, I want to hear what life was like prior to journaling and now what life's like now.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good one too. So, prior to journaling, honestly, my life was a pretty big mess. I was stumbling from experience to experience. I was stuck in alcoholism, doing cocaine, smoking a lot of weed, um, cheating on girlfriends. I had no, I was ruthless, literally ruthless. I look back on the experience now, um, not in regret at all. I honestly look back with gratitude. Um, some of the things that I did weren't the greatest, but that's life. I've had to deal with those things. I've made amends with those things through my own self process of healing. And that's a huge part. Um, Without the journaling, I honestly don't know where I would be today. I can say that straight from the heart, because before journaling, things were all over the place. I had no structure in my life. It was kind of just like floating from the one idea to the next, to the next. And the result was me getting 2 impaired driving charges. The result was me hurting myself over being ridiculous in endless relationships with people, being selfish, judgmental, and everything that goes along with that. Um, and then, yeah, like I say, I think I must have hit a turning point when I had that near death experience. Um, and something really directed me. I can honestly say it was a little bit of the magic in some of the books that I read. A couple people recommended those books to me. This, like, The Secret, watch The Secret, and watch like The Laws of Attraction. And to be completely honest, I did. I guess I started to understand and feel what these people were talking about. And so then that led me down, literally, yeah, the path of self-awareness, the path of sobriety, and the path of just changing my life and helping others express who they truly are in their lives. As an artist and as a young father myself and a young man, um, this is something that we're going to be experiencing for lifetimes. And I truly think that my job here as Mike Jacques, as an artist, as who I am, is to literally just shine this light as bright as I can, and um, just lead by example the best that I can, and have patience. That is the biggest thing that I can straight up say. The biggest piece of advice I can tell anybody that's listening to this, because this will help with your journaling as well. You have to have patience and dedication. You have to do this every day. You have to focus. You have to nurture. You have to completely develop this yourself. Everybody has their own style, I think, and way of journaling. It'll come out different for absolutely everybody. But like me and Scott were just saying, it starts with the pen and the paper. Um, and something that I get excited about is I honestly, I bought a really cool pen. It wasn't even expensive. It was like $20 or something, or $40 on Amazon. Um, but to backstep on that story a little bit, I actually didn't buy this pen. Somebody bought this for me for Christmas, my girlfriend's brothers. Um, and that's the magic, though, in the pen as well. If you have something that you really like and you're excited to use it, this tool now becomes literally a moneymaker, or a thought processor, or whatever you want it to be. It's completely up to you. The sky's the limit, and it goes infinity and beyond. I truly believe in that in my heart.
So would you say your life is uh, been greatly improved now? Like you said before, journaling, it was a mess, it was chaos, and now it kind of seems like there's order and there's structure, and you're living life the way you want to live, and yeah.
Yes, definitely. It definitely put structure in my life. It literally laid down the foundation, and a very thick one at that. Um, Very, very thick and solid foundation, on just some of my own beliefs, because then those beliefs started to create my behaviors, and I fully witnessed and observed myself doing these experiences. Um, so to answer that question fully, yes, it has developed my life now with a structure that has given me peace, has given me love for myself and others. It has given me the joy, to be able to share my artwork with other people around the world with excitement and happiness. It has given me now awareness just through writing something down, uh, straight up. It has given me awareness to literally bring joy to everyone around me. And I don't even have to it's like you don't have to think about it. You just write it down. Like that's the easiest piece of advice. You could say, like, if your mind's or your head's thinking anyway, write it down. And then when you look back on it, you'll be like, wow, I was thinking that way. And you got to be a little bit insane to be sane, straight up. Like I've read that in a lot of books, and there's some
It's true.
famous,
It's true.
there's famous inventors. Einstein himself, um, Nicholas Tesla, all these guys. People thought they were insane, but do people think it's insane now that we just flip on a light switch and electricity travels through the wires in our houses and turn on our lights? Uh, it's the power of electricity and our hearts. From what I've learned and from what I'm researching presently, this electromagnetic energy that our hearts are putting out is so powerful, guys. Like, seriously, so powerful. I don't even know how to put it into words. That's why it's put into my being and put out in my artwork and in the support systems that are set up.
Speaking of the heart, I've told Mike about this experience I had. It still happens to me sometimes, um, but basically, what was going on with me for a long time was, if you've ever seen the show The Care Bears, where they had this beam of this light circle here, well, I would literally feel like there was this energy flowing through, out the back, through the front, this circle of energy through my heart. And when I would hug certain people, it would just like, it would be so powerful. And I would say to the person, like, do you feel that? And they're like, oh yeah. And it's I believe that was my heart chakra being completely open and just energized and flowing. And I still feel it sometimes. And it's really, really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to say that little bit of information. And I also want to say that Mike is not only an artist and a father and you know a family man and such, but he's also a motivational speaker and he's also a life coach. And on that note of being a life coach and motivational speaker, I have one last question for you, Mike, and that is, do you have any advice for people who wish to push their lives further or forward or in a different direction, but they have no idea where to start?
100%, guys. Biggest piece of advice I can give there, and it's the same thing that I had to do. This is bottom line. Like, otherwise, you'll just stay where you are. You have to reach out. Like, if you need help, you have to literally reach out to others and ask for help and receive it as well. Um, for me, it was kind of a rough process, but now that I understand it a little bit, I'm trying to learn how to develop it a little bit more gently. Um, and you just slowly do things day by day, little by little. And it really starts to make you feel better. And like, this is true advice. This is right from my heart. Um, I've been in the shits, serious, straight up. And I've rose above that. I've came out of that, and I'm so proud. And I carry this energy that I have inside me with confidence. I consistently put this stuff out because that's what you have to do as well. We have to all, you have to keep doing this constantly every day, and it becomes a practice in your life. Um, I've gotten a lot of different advice from people, and I didn't want to take it, honestly. That word right there, honestly. So once through the journaling, I looked back, I looked at what I was doing in my life every day, and I decided to change it, guys. Like, if you're not happy what you're doing, you have to change it. Like, you don't have to, but I'm just telling you, it'll magically change your life, and it'll make you feel better. It will give you more energy. You'll start feeling more healthy. your relationships start to evolve. Um, it's endless. It's literally endless. The cycles of completion start to enhance your whole experience. Like you wouldn't go to bed without brushing your teeth at night, but some of us do. I'm not gonna lie, I do some nights. And know what though? It hurts. That incompletion cycle. It's like shit. I should have brushed my teeth, right? So that's something I could share with everybody. Just complete, complete, complete. And when you start to complete your cycles, you'll see the results happening before your own eyes, truly, and you'll feel it with your own heart. I know you will, because I did, Scott did, all the people that I watch every day in my life, they feel it,
So,
truly.
so thank you. So to summarize, what you're saying is, if you need help, reach out for it, ask for it, but also be sure you're ready to receive it. I have really nothing to add to what Mike was saying. I mean, it's quite honest and true, and I think that's, as he pointed out, is an important word too, is honesty and integrity. Be true to yourself. If you're gonna lie, at least be true to yourself, but don't lie. It's gonna cause you nothing but mental torment. I can assure you. So
And
reach out and be willing
that's
to
the
accept the help. Hmm.
that's the authenticness that me and Scott are really sharing with everybody too. Like, um, for myself, before I got a coach, it was like, oh, I don't need a coach, this and that, and it's like, oh, what do I need a coach for? Well, understand this. Once I did get a coach, it was like going from Pee Wee leagues to the NHL. Like it's a no-brainer, and it steps you up into a completely different arena. And when I say arena, I mean a completely different thought process, completely
Reality.
different reality, completely different results. um, you start to look at money completely different. You start to look at um, the way everything flows in this life every day, and honestly it starts to really feel good. And it's like that flow, that harmony, and that's truly what I believe in my experience. This is what the heart is supposed to feel.
That's one way you can, like, if you don't know what your purpose is, and I believe you can alter your purpose and change it a bit. But if you don't know what it is and you're trying to figure it out, well, what makes you feel good? Like, and not, I don't mean like a drug or a drink, but what actually makes you feel good, which like just like makes you smile. Like, look at Mike. Like, look at this guy. He's just like, he literally glows. That, like, literally, you can see it in this whole interview. And all he's doing is, number one, he's stepping over into the abyss, which he's done, with a little bit of help from some friends.
Hmm.
And
It was scary as shit also,
and
but
it is scary as shit. And now that he's done that, and it still is scary. The abyss is still scary, but you know what? Every day things start getting more and more clear and aligned, and more things kind of just come like magically. And it's and so even though it is scary, once you make that step, you just like have a bit of faith. And at this point, like, you do need a lot of faith. At the same time, like, you'll just see it, and your faith will get so much stronger like almost every day, almost every hour. Like, it's like anytime I've doubted what I'm doing now, like, someone will send me a huge message saying, oh, thank you for your video, or keep doing what you're doing, or can you make a longer video, or whatever it is. So step into that unknown, but step into it with something that makes you feel good, feel really good. And I'll give you a hint. Something that will make you feel really good is helping others. That will make you feel really good. So start there. If you find something that makes you feel good, that's finding your meaning. Okay. And keep following that. And I can assure you, you'll be happy you did. It will be scary. You will be tested. The universe is still gonna throw you test at you, and it's funny. You just gotta keep holding on, keep having faith, and as I said, Mike and I are both in the unknown right now, and this is kind of a look of fear on our faces, but it's also kind of a look of like absolute wonder and astonishment and joy. and
And I
happiness
believe
because
that's it.
good.
I believe, I believe in Scott big time. I believe in him literally to whatever extent. It doesn't even matter. And I know Scott believes in me that way too. And I think that is what helps also reinforce this forward momentum, is really being that support system with each other. And I mean support system like really feeling it. Like if Buddy's in the shits, you help him feel better, or vice versa. And yeah, that's the kind of stuff that changes. Like people don't want to accept sometimes that you can change your experience overnight. Well, I'm here to tell you you can, because I have, and I have in a bunch of different experimental kind of ways, as to say the least. And yeah,
The
it is.
experience gets really amazing. Like, look at the smile too.
Yeah,
I never used to smile like this.
and that's it. It is. It's the wonders of this world, and you have to believe in yourself. That's the bottom line message I was trying to get to, was believe in yourself. And once you start to 100% authentically believe in yourself, um, you believe in everybody else as well. And you don't have that self-doubt anymore. It kind of disintegrates as you start to have stronger beliefs in yourself and in others. It disintegrates that self-doubt. And when you don't have self-doubt, you start to create the stuff like you see behind me. Because we're creative beings. We have to remember that. And the journaling is a first step to just write down purpose, question mark, and then sit there for 5 minutes and think about it and be like, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? And your first answer that's going to pop in,
You muted yourself, Mike. And
there
the
we go.
first answer,
First answer to myself was who I am. Well, that takes a little bit to answer, but the more you ask yourself what and why, it helps you clarify truly where you want to be in your own life, whether you want more time with your family, whether you want more money to enhance your experience and gain different opportunities in life. You might even just want more time to go spend having walks every week for yourself. But this time is very, very valuable, and um, I can't say that enough. Um, just having the patience to sit down and journal, see what your results are, and you'll seriously be surprised.
awesome. Thank you, Michael. I think that like about wraps up this interview. It's been really incredible, and I'm excited to do more with you. And thank you so much for for sharing everything and all of that. And also, I want to point out there's going to be in the link below, somewhere here in the description, there's going to be all links to Michael's stuff, whatever side he's going to be on. So his page, his art page on Instagram, MJ_medals, and then his motivational speaker slash life coach page will be linked there as well, and any other links that I'm not remembering to mention now. And if anyone is looking for help or anything in any way, we are both life coaches, we're both mentors, we're both speakers, and we want to help. So leave a comment, whatever. Let's get you some help, and let's start living the life you want to live. Is there anything you want to say, Michael?
I totally think this went so well, and like I say, whoever really views this and takes something from it, I truly think it is motivation and inspiration, because that's what we do for each other. That's why I believe as human beings we are here, is to motivate and inspire each other to help enhance this experience and just make it a little bit more comfortable for us all to live. And I'll leave it on that note, and just keep journaling. Bottom line, every single day, wake up and just burn it in as a habit, And like I say, you'll see the continuous results. It's just a matter of stepping into that unknown and seeing what happens. Create your own opportunities, guys.
Thank you so much, Mike.